Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I hate that I have to talk about it, but after the last video I've seen, let's talk about it. A couple of weeks ago, Joe Biden and Donald Trump had their first debate. And after that debate, news media lost its mind and was trying to spin Joe Biden's performance during the debate as horrible, as detrimental, and they started calling for Joe Biden to step down. My mutual, Hawk, did the same. He felt that Joe Biden had a horrible performance, and he too called for Joe Biden to step down. And he's been doing so since the debate. A lot of you don't agree with Hawk's opinion, and you're allowed. But we all must recognize that Hawk is entitled to his opinion. What annoys me the most about all of this is that with every video he posts, which I believe is to sort of antagonize all of you, you all get down in my comment section underneath videos where I'm talking about something totally different to alert me to what Hawk is talking about in his videos. You aren't addressing what I'm talking about in my videos. You are in my comment section underneath what I deem to be important videos where I'm providing important information talking about the foolishness that's happening over on Hawk's page. That annoys me. If you have a problem with what Hawk is saying, if you are in disagreement with what Hawk is saying on his page in his videos, do that over on his page in the comment section underneath his videos. Let's stop coming over to my videos on my page to complain about what Hawk's doing over on his page. Furthermore, if what Hawk is saying over on his page is upsetting you so much and you are following him, stop following him. Stop watching his videos. Yeah, easy peasy. As for my opinion about Joe Biden's performance at the debate, it's totally different from Hawk's and mainstream news media. I don't feel that Joe Biden had a horrible debate performance. Did he stutter? Yes. Did his brain freeze? Yes. Did he mumble? Yes. But was he coherent? Absolutely. Was he able to express his thought? Yes, he was. Was he able to explain the things that his administration has been doing since he's been in office? Without a doubt. Donald Trump, on the other hand, spewed nothing but lies. That's what I've been saying, and that's what I will continue to say. I went live and pointed out all of the lies. I fact-checked Donald Trump. I pointed out when Joe Biden was having a freezing moment, when he was stuttering, because it's apparent to see. But we all know that Joe Biden suffers from a speech impediment. He stutters. We know there are times when he has to take a step back to collect his thoughts so that the words come out correctly through his lips. We know that. Before the debate, I was a Joe Biden voter. After the debate, I'm still a Joe Biden voter. I don't care if they're wheeling Joe Biden in on a gurney to speak to the American people. I'm voting for Joe Biden. With all of this said, I recognize that the things that Hawk is saying, he views it as he's just one man on the internet. I want to make it clear. Hawk is one man on the internet with almost 600,000 followers. Absolutely, what he's doing on his page can cause division. It can cause upset because he's one man on the internet, but there are millions of others that come across his videos and will share those videos who have thousands of people following them. And so that message gets spread. And because he's a white man on the internet who has up to this point been speaking in support of Democrats and Joe Biden has now flipped the script. People are going to look, they respect Hawk. They respect his line of thinking because of the content that he has been putting out up until this point. And so those people, we all know, people who follow us, they value our opinions. And he certainly can start to sway the way people think because they respect and value him and his information that he brings. And let's not forget that Hawk is a white, straight male. His opinion is already valued up to here. Okay? With all of this said, this is the latest that Hawk put out.
Today we learned that Dr. Kenneth Kennard, a specialist in Parkinson's disease, beginning in 2022, visited the White House 8 times in 8 months, confirmed by multiple news agencies by examining the White House visitors' logs. The White House is refusing to explain or confirm these visits. That's all.
It's true. What Hawk said in that video is true. There are several different news outlets who are reporting this story. Parkinson's expert visited White House 8 times in 8 months and met with Biden's doctor. Several different news outlets. I just picked ABC. Several different news outlets are reporting this. These are the same news outlets that have requested for Joe Biden to step down, as Hawk did. So, what is the reason for this? Now, Hawk will say, I didn't say anything other than, this is what's being reported. But we know what the implication of reporting such a story does. We know what the implication insinuates. It insinuates that this doctor was there to examine Joe Biden because he could possibly have Parkinson's. That's what reporting this story insinuates. And Hawk knows that. He knows what he's doing. However, what Hawk and news media is not elaborating on is this law right here. President Biden signs Parkinson's bill into law. See that date? July 3rd, 2024. And if you want to know where I got that article from, I got it directly from the Parkinson's Foundation's website. I came across the article because after I saw Hawk's video, I went over to Google and I put President Joe Biden and Parkinson's in the Google search box, and that was the first thing that came up for me. Yeah. In that article, you'll find this: top 5 ways this monumental bill can make an impact. Dramatically increase federal research funding. Develop more effective pathways for treatments and cures. Improve early diagnosis. Spark new and improved models for patient care. And it address health disparities in diagnosis, treatment, and clinical trial participation. And why didn't Hawk and news media elaborate and point this out? Because they know what they are trying to insinuate, how they are trying to manipulate the mind. That's why they didn't go further into this story. Just one possibility as to why this doctor was going to the White House. We don't know any specific reasons as to why this doctor was going to the White House. We don't know he was going there to see Joe Biden. But that could be a major reason as to why this doctor was going to the White House. If Joe Biden is dealing with Parkinson's or symptoms of Parkinson's or in the beginning stages of Parkinson's, or I don't know, has some other condition, neurological condition, that I don't care. I don't care. Why? Because while in office, Joe Biden has been able to do some monumental things. Let me remind you on what Joe Biden has been able to do. We currently have Republicans all across the country implementing laws and policy that removes a woman's right to reproductive health. And with Donald Trump working with the Heritage Foundation to make these laws national and not just at the state level, this is what Joe Biden is doing. Yeah, Joe Biden did this. With black people all across this country having to deal with redlining, because when we talk about redlining, we talk about it as if it's a thing in the past. No, redlining still happens today. And so with black people who are being discriminated against when it comes to getting mortgage loans, this is what Joe Biden is doing. Thousands of students head to college every year and fall into a debt trap, trying to pay for school. Some don't even graduate college and end up with thousands of dollars of college debt. This is what Joe Biden is doing. This is what Joe Biden is doing. Instead of Americans depending on China and other countries to provide us with microchips, this is what Joe Biden has done and is doing. This affects a whole lot of Americans. Americans living paycheck to paycheck, and often find themselves having to deal with junk and overdraft fees just because they're trying to make it. This is what Joe Biden has done. This right here. While we all sat and watched MAGA nuts and Donald Trump and his merry band of criminals perform a coup on the United States government, Joe Biden, since he's been in office, has been working to prevent this from being done in the future. They have been working to reform the Electoral Count Act. This law will make it harder for Trump or any other presidential candidate to pressure state and local election officials or Congress to overturn elections. This is what Joe Biden is working on. On top of that, you've got the infrastructure bill and a whole slew of other things that he has been working on, improving relations with South Korea and other Asian countries. Joe Biden has been doing a lot, but they don't talk about that. News media, they don't talk about that. They don't tell you about this stuff. So if Joe Biden is dealing with Parkinson's or any other neurological deficiencies, I don't care. I don't care, because I've seen all that Joe Biden has done since he's been in office. I don't give a fuck what news media or Hawk has to say. I don't care. And neither should you.